Hey everyone, Isaac here. Just want to give a quick intro. Kingdom Hearts turns 20 years old. One of the most influential series in modern video game history, I would say. And me and our good friend Connor are really big fans of the series. Decided to do a special one-off episode. James interjects every once in a while, but it's mainly just me and Connor chatting about the series. It was a good one. It was good to talk about something other than movies every once in a while. But this was a good episode. If you're not into Kingdom Hearts or video games, though, don't worry. We have a regular James and I coming back regular Friday episode. Still workshopping what we want to talk about exactly, but it'll be out there. It'll be out there on Friday. So don't worry. Until then, enjoy Connor and I talking about Kingdom Hearts.
He doesn't watch the podcast. You can tell he doesn't watch the podcast because I do hit Play Nation and he goes cringe, bro.
Dude, even if I did watch it, it'd still be cringe.
Yeah, fair enough. It's intentional cringe.
Right.
Anyways, we are.
I'm
Does
not
it
gonna
look like I
embarrass
know how to say
myself
it?
in front of your 10 viewers?
Hey, we have 100.
Is it over 100? Nice, dude. Proud.
Again, you can tell he doesn't watch the podcast. So we were gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts, but now we're just gonna roast.
Yeah.
Connor for not watching our
You
podcast.
should probably introduce me at some point, huh?
This is Connor, by the way, guys.
Hi, I'm Connor.
This
I'm
is
their
Connor.
friend.
Yeah. All right. So we're here. We are talking about Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Anniversary. Happened a couple weeks ago, I think. James is our fact checker today. James, fact check me real quick.
It came out March 28th.
So in true hit play fashion, we are a little behind today.
To be fair, I think the event is happening like this week.
Yeah, the event actually happened like
Or like yesterday or something.
now,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Because the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer just dropped this morning.
dropped, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But right now,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking Kingdom Hearts.
Talking
the
Kingdom
first
Hearts.
game.
First one.
And also the series as a whole. Connor, let's start here. Where and how did you get involved with Kingdom Hearts?
Okay, so
It's like a drug. It's like
it really is. Oh,
it feels
man.
like an
Because every time you're like, I don't want to go back, and then you get another hit, and you're like, oh, these games are great. So I started, I want to say relatively close to when the first game came out. Obviously within leeway because I think it dropped when I was like 4. So I think I probably
James is fact checking that right now.
well, okay, if it's
Was Connor actually 4 at the time of its
well,
release?
okay, let's do some quick math, James. I just turned 24 and it's the 20th anniversary. So do the math, buddy. Well, you're James. You want to do the math really quick?
That was fun. We should have given James a mic.
We
too.
really should have, but it is what it is. So yeah, so I'd say probably like 6 or 7. My dad had a PlayStation 2, and I think he bought it for himself or something, which looking back is weird because it was not his style of game at all. And yeah, so I think he was playing it one day, and I was like, "This looks cool. It's got Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck." And then like you're a kid, so you have no idea what the heck is going on. Because those games,
But it looks cool.
it looks awesome. Oh man, I knew nothing about Final Fantasy, but when Leon popped up on Twilight Town and he had
ol'
the big
X.
gun blade,
And the X across his
oh
forehead.
dude, I was so excited.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar boat
yeah.
in terms of just the cover I was like, what is this? Why is Mickey Mouse so edgy right now?
Right? Oh man, dude. And then you don't even see him
Yeah, that
for like most of the game.
Mickey is the enigma that goes all until like 2.
Yeah, and then too, yeah, he's a player, but that first one you just see his silhouette, right? As they're closing the
I think
door.
so, yeah.
But yeah, those games were because I think I played one in my brain. It was like 1 and 2 in rapid succession as a kid. I don't think they came out in rapid succession.
I think 2 came out in 07
James fact
or
check us.
05. It's 2005, yeah.
Okay, so handful of years later, but
I remember because I still remember the day it dropped.
Really?
Yeah.
You have memories back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
My friend from down the street was like, "Yo, dude, I got Kingdom Hearts 2." I was like, get it in my PlayStation right now. That was me imitating my 7-year-old self.
It doesn't sound far off from where you are currently, actually.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Everybody
Everybody
skipped Chain of Memories, James.
Full disclosure, Chain of Memories is the only one I've played.
That's why we included James in our
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts
He's got a
discussion.
little bit of knowledge.
He's got some knowledge in it.
Totally just not crashing at their place. But yeah, so I didn't know Chain of Memories existed until about
I didn't.
I was like until Days came out, I think.
I played Chain of Memories on the PlayStation 2,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I was like, "This game is garbage. Whoever bought this game?" It's like, never mind. I'm just gonna keep playing 1 and 2.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna play the good ones. Although I will say, full disclosure, I still to this day have not played Chain of Memories.
I think I got all the way to Pinocchio, the whale, and then that's where I stopped.
Yeah,
Where is it heading in the world, James? It's like the 5th level, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I've only heard conflicting things where either it's the worst game in the series or people love it, and it's all down to the deck building.
Is it? I don't remember. I remember freaking Oogie Boogie was giving me nightmares for years just because of how hard he was. It was like, dude, just freaking die!
Full disclosure, I have played and beaten Chain of Memories multiple times over.
We really should have gotten James a mic.
James, you can hook up the toner and just send me the audio. He's going to have noticeably worse audio.
Right, yeah.
All right, well, 20 years later,
Right.
we both have similar experiences to how we started our journey in Kingdom Hearts, like,
As a whole.
addiction, quote unquote,
strong
addiction. What has this series, specifically the first game, would you say has aged the best? Because for me, I think just the originality of saying, let's make original characters and also Final Fantasy and also Disney, and let's make them do some goofy stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with that. Because, like, in terms of actual gameplay, one's got to be, like, one of the worst.
The camera, it just by itself, the
camera
makes it
garbage. There's
terrible.
nothing, like, to do besides just attack and magic. And
It
then,
is-
like, you compare that to, like, everything else's gimmicks. And it's just like, oh, man, how did we play this? But,
because
like,
we were 5-year-olds and didn't know better.
accurate.
To
But
be
yeah.
fair, though, okay, I'm gonna defend Kingdom Hearts here. Nothing else at the time was like, whoa, in terms of just basic combat mechanics.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll always give it that. Even at the first game, like the combos and the way that the combat worked, it flowed really well.
Yeah.
It felt pretty solid, even as a kid when you didn't know what the heck you were doing. It's just that, like, going back and replaying it, you're just like, wow. But I would definitely say, the music is always going to be a strong point.
Oh,
in
yeah.
all of these games, the
Yeah,
music
for sure.
always just that combat song when, like, you're fighting bosses and stuff. Like, we all know the one. I couldn't name it.
That's why we have an IT guy.
That's why we had the IT guy. There's gonna be like 20 hits. It's gonna
Don't
take
sigh
forever.
at us.
But yeah, that really, like, those will always get to me. And like you said, the story, the uniqueness of it is still really cool even to this day. Even though it, as Isaac learned as I was going through Kingdom Hearts 3 recently, because I just got a PS4, it both infuriates me and yeah. Yeah, man, that Kingdom Hearts story.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
get
get
there.
there.
We'll get
That is definitely one of the things that has not aged well at all. Trying to think what else has aged well for it. We said the music.
We said the music. We said the combat.
We said the combat.
I would argue to this day the combat is still leaps and bounds in just feeling over a lot of other games that are very similar in this kind of
It's
stuff.
also just it's weird because it nails that satisfaction when you like hit the shit out of a piece, like a heartless or something.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there whacking at it for like 20 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
I finally beat it.
It's one of those things where like when you're just fighting random guys, it almost feels better than the boss fights because you don't have to break your combo chains at all because you're just beating up random dudes. It's kind of like Bayonetta or like Devil May Cry, where where you're just stringing out combos and combos and combos, and you feel like a complete and utter badass, and you're just like, yeah, like I am a Keyblade master. All right.
Well, you're not really a Keyblade master.
Air quotes. We all know that Sora is the strongest one there. You know what hasn't aged well, actually? Sora as the main character. It
All
goes
right,
to
here we
show
go.
that most people's favorite games don't include Sora. You got Birth by Sleep, a lot of people quote, and then you got Days, neither of which has Sora. I love him to death.
Yeah, he's an
he needs
interesting. He's an interesting character because he peaks in 2,
For sure.
and then he just like goes straight down, just in terms of like actually either a well-written character or just a character that we can all kind of get behind. Because he's kind of a whiny brat post 2.
Yeah.
He's like too emo for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just getting older.
I think that's part of it, is that his character is very like child friendly. Like I believe in the power of my friends.
Yeah.
And like the heart is light, and like the message is there, and it's a neat message if you really like try to scrape out all the extra stuff. If you have friends, like James says, which is why none of us ever really got the message.
Yeah.
Because nobody who plays Kingdom Hearts has friends. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
But
Accurate.
yeah, I know. Where was I going with my train of thought? We were talking about Sora.
We're talking about Sora and
Yeah, but like
memory.
as like
the power of
growing up as
friendship.
an adult, it doesn't hit the same. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, Sora, I do believe in the power of my friends, because you watch Donald KO himself for like the 4th time in a row, and you're like, wow, this guy's.
If I really believed in the power of friends, Donald would freaking heal me on.
Yeah, right. Donald would heal me. Kyrie wouldn't be next to useless in the final fight in any of the games.
Yeah.
Riku's just kind of an asshole. I love him. He's a great guy, but he's kind of a dick.
Damn you, Riku.
In fact, if anything, the message of the power of friendship works better, again, in games that Sora isn't in.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Which, Days, that's the whole idea behind it. And then when they come back to that in 3, when you get to see all the, Roxas, Axel, and Shion again, that was a really cool moment to me. Like, seeing them stand together, I was like, yes! Oh, I haven't felt pumped in a Kingdom Hearts game since, like,
that
2.
was what we have been working for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like, rewarding. And then same thing with the Birth by Sleep cast, and seeing like Ventus and Terra and Aqua and them being like, we're buddies again. Like that felt way better than Sora saves Kairi for the 3rd.
Yeah, it definitely feels like those games are more grounded, as grounded as you can be in a Kingdom Hearts series.
Yeah, I mean grounded in this
in terms of like
kind of an
just
oxymoron.
actual, in terms of relatability, or just like it feels like this is a coherent story within itself, at least within the games itself. There's definitely stuff to be said about as far as like how well do the games fit in these universe. I thought Birth by Sleep was a spin-off series the first time I played it. I was like, what the F is going on here? And then Mickey comes out at the end, and I'm like, oh, is this? And then Sora, there's a scene with Sora and Riku and Kairi where they all have like their own little bit with the characters, and I'm like, what is going on here? So
I genuinely didn't understand what that purpose was, like them going to Destiny Island, until 3, with all the like, oh yeah, Roxas's heart is in you, and I was like, wait, what? I had to go back and like watch that sequence again. I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. I thought they were just mad chilling. I was like, I'd go to Destiny Island. It's a nice place.
it's a vacation spot for
I
all
thought
the
it was just a
characters.
tie-in to be like, hey, by the way, this is the Kingdom Hearts universe.
Yeah.
It's a prequel. There's
Yeah.
young Sora. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, we say it's more relatable, but I mean, can you really relate to your buddy Terra coming one with the darkness?
Yeah. I watched Batman the other day. Now I'm dark and brooding.
Yeah, actually, you guys can relate to it really well as I get you addicted to my plastic hobbies.
Yeah, we're starting to get into Warhammer a lot more.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I'm a big Warhammer fan.
Warhammer Pod win, James. Are we gonna start
Please?
a spin-off channel of Warhammer?
Please,
I don't see why not.
you guys. If you guys like hearing from me, I might convince them to do that because that'd be a lot of fun for me, Connor.
To play Warhammer.
No, I'd be there with you. We'd all be failing.
We'll do it right after we do our own D&D podcast, even though we're like 50 sessions into the current campaign.
To be fair, is there really anything that they're gonna miss?
They missed the trial.
They did miss the trial arc. We should probably get back on topic, though.
Yeah, let's get back on topic. I'll say this, something that has aged well for the series. The boss fights. I don't think I've ever been more satisfied with any of the boss fights more than, and at least in a video game series, than Kingdom Hearts final boss fights.
I mean,
just because it's like 30 hours long, 20, 30 hours long games.
Yeah.
You're slogging through it. You're grinding. You got to, sometimes you hit difficulty spikes along the way.
sometimes.
You got to, there's like this emotional attachment to just killing the final boss. Like, I've probably played the Xemnas boss fight a million times. My save is literally just right there, and it's just like anytime I'm bored, I just hop in and just fight it.
I will add that Xemnas, the Kingdom Hearts 2 Xemnas fight, is
GOAT tier.
the best fight in the series, period.
GOAT tier.
That sequence
That
at the very
whole-
end where you're just like mashing the triangle button and deflecting the lasers with Riku. Oh, it's so cool.
Legitimately my favorite boss fight of any video game ever.
Yeah, and it follows after dealing with all the annoying crap from the other boss fights with the organization members. That Zigbar fight, I have PTSD. That was where I got stuck as a kid when I was like 10, because I just could not for the life of me
With the gun?
understand. Yeah, with the gun.
Yeah, I couldn't understand, like, oh, he's shooting at me this way. Why don't I just go in a circle?
Yeah, yeah. Like, dude, I don't know how I managed to like exist as a child, because apparently I didn't understand trajectory.
Yeah.
Like how did I ever like
just
do well in
physics.
sports or anything, like during PE when people were throwing things at me and I knew to hit it? I was just like, how is he shooting me? This is stupid. And then that also, as a kid save, I happened to save in such a way that every time I went back to that fight, the first two fights, if I ever tried to proc drive, I was either anti-Sora or final Sora.
Yeah, me too.
And that screwed me up so many times.
I remember that being a big problem for me.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, as a kid, you don't know how that works. You're just like, oh, dude, I suddenly am white and have two swords, or suddenly I'm a Heartless. And I'm like, I remember that from one, kind of. That being said, anti-form is... It sucks, but it's also really cool.
It's more useful in 3 than it was
in 3 where it fully heals you and, like, you can choose not to do it. That's...
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, this is a slight tangent. Anti-form in 3 screwed me like 8 times, because I'd be sitting there getting my butt kicked by a boss, and I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna hit like a reaction command for Donald to do like Donald Meteor or whatever, and as I was doing it,
it would
cycling up, it would swap over to that, and all of a sudden I can't do anything anymore for
that
like
was a big
10,
problem for
15
me.
seconds.
That was a big problem for me in 2 because I had auto limit set. And so I would go to hit a reaction, and then it would be like, just kidding, duck flare. And it's like, no, I need to not hit duck flare right now.
Yeah. I think during my replay through of 2, as an adult, so I could actually beat it, I think I set for like the first couple of worlds, I had Revalor on, like auto Valor. That was a stupid call.
Yeah.
I love the Valor form. I think it's the best form in that whole thing, because
geez.
that's how I am. But
jeez. James, do you agree?
James, do you have any idea what the Valor form is?
Just look up the Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 2 drive forms.
James is about to prove you. James is about to go crazy right now.
I mean, you can confirm. I do the drive form on. I do Valor form as my skin when we play Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's true.
I freaking love Valor form. It was so cool.
I think I'm more impartial to Master.
Oh, you're one of those.
It just looks cool because he has the 2 keyblades like that. And he's like,
Master's cool.
Everybody likes Final
Everybody
Form.
likes Final Form. You can't count Final Form. That's the coolest one by nature of it being
Yeah,
Final
it's
Form.
like saying Super Saiyan Goku's best Goku.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's
not fair.
like being like, oh, dude, Superman's cool. Like, of course he's cool. He's designed to be cool.
Yeah.
Right? You.
Hot mic, Connor. Hot mic. Careful. Careful.
I wasn't gonna say anything
I
bad.
know. I'm just kidding.
Should have heard me last night though.
God damn it. Okay. All right. So 20 years of games.
20 years of games.
We have Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out, which we'll get to in a little bit, discussing where we think the series will go.
Mhm.
As of right now, though, what do you think? Where would you rank the games? So me and James like to do S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier.
Okay, so like the series as a whole, or rank them against each other.
Rank them against each other.
Okay.
So if we're gonna go, let's go in chronological order. So Kingdom Hearts 1.
As a kid, that was definitely an A tier, but I think re-going through as an adult, that's a B tier.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a good game, but
Just old.
it's old. Yeah,
it's
it
like
shows
going back.
its age.
It's like going back and playing the original Doom or like Ocarina of Time or something,
Oh,
where it's like it definitely shows its age,
like, you know,
and you
it's
can
still, like,
appreciate it.
enjoyable,
It's you have fun playing it, but like you don't want to play it in the original form.
Yeah, you know, like
That's another thing that I hate about the packaged anniversary HD collections is like there's no modernization other than let's just bring it up to 30 frames and make
there's
it look
not?
pretty.
Oh man, now I feel bad
It's
about
like-
that purchase.
Yeah, it's like the minor annoyances and stuff are like not really ironed out. The combat still feels the same. The camera's still wonky.
Yikes.
It's like you guys have had 20 years to fix this game. Can we just make the camera like a little bit better? Can we just
and
go
honestly,
back
that
and
would
do
be the biggest fix is just fixing the dang.
Because like when Ocarina of Time did their remaster,
it was really
it
good.
would like actually remastered
Yeah.
it.
Of course, they also had
the
to port it to
actual
the 3DS.
yeah, the actual mechanics and gameplay were still, you know, Nintendo 64, 1998, but it looked pretty. The
Looked
camera
good.
actually worked.
Mhm.
The aiming actually
the
worked.
aiming worked. Gyroscope did a lot for
There
that
were
game.
minor like things where you could actually equip boots
Mhm.
into the menu instead of like having to actually go in the menu, and like there's just like a lot of minor stuff, and I think that's the one thing that drives me crazy about this collection that they came out with. This like other than making it look pretty and run smooth,
Yeah, making it
there's
nicer.
no
Man, you
minor
really
stuff.
really making that $30 that I dropped on getting that whole collection on my PS4.
No,
less
it
of
was,
an
it was
investment.
worth. It was worth. I mean,
I will replay
have the
them.
collection
I know
right
that,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would definitely say B tier for Kingdom Hearts 1.
sure, I would agree. James?
I still have PTSD from that Ansem fight.
What do you think, James?
You never played them.
Go off the cover. Let's. We're gonna make James go off the cover. Just look up the covers and rate the games off the cover.
It's a nice cover, right?
That's another thing that's really well done. Is Kingdom Hearts is
Yeah.
always has great, like in this modern day and age of just a guy carrying a gun on the cover of video games.
Right, yeah.
Like Kingdom Hearts is always willing to go above and beyond.
Mhm. You can definitely tell they got that anime touch.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, the right. amount.
They really trick you with that. You look at them like, wow, this game looks like it's really cool, and then it's Donald Duck yelling at you for 40 hours. I hate Donald.
Oh, I know something that's aged the best before we continue these rankings. The commercials. That Kingdom Hearts 2 TV spot, 30-second spot, that would get me hype as a kid.
I'm gonna be honest. I was so not like when they announced Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right?
And then you watch the TV
And then
spot.
I watched the trailers, and I was like, oh, why am I
the
hyped?
Kingdom Hearts 2 one always gets me hyped here.
And like
Let's
this,
see if I
the
can find
Kingdom
it.
Hearts. Well, like I said, we'll get back to the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. But like, I mean, I just watched it. I got into their place and I just watched it. And Isaac was there to listen to me. And the entire time I was like, why are they doing this? But also I was like excited. Like I was kind of like bouncing. I was like, yes.
Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one.
And the
It's always the
music on
music
trailers.
too.
It's
It's
like the
always the
music is what gets
freaking
me, yeah.
music. Yeah, this is hype. Look at that. That's hype.
it's just like so cool. And like, even like looking back, like that was really good graphically. Like obviously right now you can see the pixel and it's garbage. But like I remember playing these games and being like, wow, like they look so good for. It really could. I mean, like you sass, but like it was pretty solid back then.
For being early 2000s,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like they showed like
Look at
there was like Master Form for a second in that trailer, and like that was clean. Like the transition to it,
Clean.
oh. That
This-
sequence where
that
he's running up
sequence
the
got me
building.
dope.
Oh,
That was hype.
it's so cool. And
Yeah,
oh.
that part I was like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, well,
Like Mickey's got a gun?
we'll get to my love of Roxas's segment in Kingdom Hearts 2 in a second. But oh man, I love Roxas.
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1 is definitely a B tier.
B tier,
I think
yeah.
it's definitely saved by the end world, but everything leading up to the end world
Yeah.
is like
But again,
kind of slog.
screw the Ansem plate. Not because it was difficult, but because after I beat it, I had submit in my head for like a week. I was
like,
in college
it's
and I
like-
couldn't turn in papers.
It's like back in the day when everybody could replay the whole Riku monologue because that was the definitive spike in the difficulty.
Yep, that's where I got stuck as a kid.
It's
that
just
Riku fight.
everybody, and back in the day they didn't have the skip scene,
Nope.
so you would have
You
to
just had to
watch
sit there
the
and watch him
whole
over and
Riku
over
monologue over again.
And then he would
Lead
whoop
me
my
into
ass.
everlasting darkness.
Yep. That fight, even going back as an adult, that fight whooped my ass a couple times.
Yeah.
So what came after 1? It was
Yeah, 1 is surprisingly difficult, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one's-
thinking about it. I was playing it the other day, and I was having trouble in freaking Alice in Wonderland.
Oh. Okay.
Just like the actual platforming and the mechanics of the like mini bosses, like that one mini boss where it's like pick whoever you think is the culprit, and then we'll fight you.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay. That being said, you actually just sparked a memory in me. The
a
Kingdom
chain of memories.
D tier. No, the Alice in Wonderland worlds in all the games always kicked my ass.
Yeah, it's surprisingly weird. It's weird.
I
agree.
But yeah, I can't comment on Chain of Memories as a ranking because I didn't play it.
James, grab the mic.
S tier.
All right,
You heard it here first, folks.
Why do you
S
think?
tier.
Why do you think Kingdom Hearts?
here,
Why do you
take
think
the mic.
it's a S tier? We're giving the mic back to James. Welcome back, James.
Purely nostalgic reasons.
I'm gonna give it a C. I think the card mechanic is stupid, but there are some cool moments, like the last fight with Marluxia, and all the other organization members. They were pretty dope moments. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Chain of Memories. My mom always told me if I have nothing nice to say, don't say it. So I'm not.
Which is why I'm not commenting.
I will say that the organization member fights were the coolest parts to me. For the card mechanic, I think I had beaten the game maybe 3 times before I fully understood how the card mechanic worked.
That's like every
'Cause
other
there's, like,
6-year-old.
Stuff you can
Yeah.
do where you can like save cards
Yeah.
and make combos off of them, and I didn't even figure that out for the longest time. I didn't even know you could double jump for the longest time.
Oh Lord! So you really
Oh,
beat the game
boy,
on hard
James,
mode.
yeah, wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
No wonder he thinks it's an S tier.
That's that's
All the way
really
over here playing the Dark Souls. Of
that's
Kingdom Hearts.
really impressive. That could be like a world record run.
That's like the woman who beat Breath of the Wild, and then she finds a tutorial where you can like roll dodge stuff.
Oh jeez.
James, there's actually a big issue with this is completely off topic, but with Elden Ring, where people skip the tutorial and then they go out and they just don't know what to do. There's been a
Oh,
lot of people
jeez.
return the game because of it.
Oh jeez.
Sorry, that was just a yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 2 S tier,
Oh, that's S tier for
Easy
sure.
S tier.
Everything about that game is flawless.
best
the
game
writing-
in the series.
The writing is the best. The combat is the best.
drive forms.
The drive forms are
Oh,
dope. The summons
beautiful.
are useful at times.
Yeah.
Your allies are actually kind of
Donald
useful.
does something
other
for
than
once.
other than Donald every now and then.
Yeah.
You have these dope.
The
like,
worlds were amazing.
The worlds were dope. You have these dope like the special attacks that you would have with
Mhm.
your
With your
guest
friends,
party
yeah.
appearances.
And
Limits.
then
Sorry, limits. The
Roxas.
story. Roxas. Everybody hated the
Oh.
beginning.
Okay.
I love the beginning. It's like the perfect
Yeah.
culmination of everything right with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like the whole Roxas segment, right? It's slow as heck, and going back through, it's kind of a jog, like to deal with.
I enjoy the Roxas
but
section.
like, it's just different, and like Roxas is such a neat character, and like the whole time you're like, who is this guy? I know nothing about him, and like,
Yeah.
why does he have a keyblade? Who's these weird clouded bastards? Like, it's such a cool startup to the story, and then that climax where like you walk up. And like Axel's there, and he like lights the whole ring on fire, and then Roxas pulls out Oathkeeper and Oblivion. It's
That's a dope fight. That's like,
it's so cool.
that's like top 10 Kingdom Hearts moment right there when he pulled out both.
easily.
2?
it gets me it gets me so hype every time to this day. Anytime I replay it, I'm just like, yes.
And it's so sad too, because this guy
'cause you
wants
don't
to
know who it is, yeah.
be a real human being.
And then like in retrospect, like playing Days and then playing 2 and seeing Roxas, you know, being completely forgetful, not knowing anything, seeing the pain in Axel's face, he's like, this is my buddy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, best game. S tier, top of the S tier.
Yeah.
2's amazing.
Everything that even just like everything that's not the end game boss.
It's still serviceable.
The worst boss in that fight is probably Pride Lands when you fight that giant tiger.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that the Pride Lands were even a part of the game. So that tells you how bad those were.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the Pride Lands was definitely an afterthought.
Yeah.
Unless we're counting Atlantis, Ursula.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah,
Ursula's-
we're gonna slide past that.
But even
S tier. Oh wait, nobody could hear what James said. He said Days was next.
Days is next. Yeah.
Another beautiful S tier.
I'm gonna say A. I didn't like the mechanics of like
Oh man,
you have to set your what's in your like the grid thing.
Yeah.
Real stupid. I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I really like the grid thing. It was the start of what to me helped streamline the menuing system. Because I do it in Birth by Sleep 2, where you just have like a deck.
Yeah.
And the deck concept I think streamlines the game way better. Because going back through like playing 2 or 3 and stuff, having to like, you know, get the shortcuts or having to mash buttons as you're in the middle of combat, you're just like, ugh, I'm slow, man. I got tiny thumbs. But yeah, I would say Days is an S tier. I love that game. That was probably, I would argue that Days is where I really got hooked.
It was cool to see them introduce Shion
Was
as this character that nobody knew about and yet plays a somewhat important role in the universe.
mm-hmm.
And also just seeing the organization members more than just like these dark brooding figures that
yeah.
Sora has to fight. Like
Or-
they actually have personality to them.
Yeah.
Beyond
Um,
what we saw in 2.
Organization 13 and the Nobodies are easily the coolest enemies.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
They're so neat. Just like the way that the Nobodies move, like the enemy Nobodies, like they're just the weird shapeless
Yeah.
globbly glue. Oh, it's neat. And then yeah, the like organization members having personality also was a very cool lead up into them not being organization members anymore, actually having personality.
For sure.
But yeah, that game also has my favorite Keyblade designs because they weren't like just based off of
Yeah, they were
the
based
world.
off
They were
of
like
your abilities.
random stuff.
Yeah.
So like some of them like were just like really cool and
Yeah.
edgy, and you know I was like 13.
God
Even as
damn
an
it.
adult, I still think they're cool.
God damn it. He has them on his wall.
I do. I've told Isaac this. I have like 5 like wooden and plastic Keyblades at home. That's my shtick. is that I collect replica weapons, and I have
Connor
a
is
lot of
more into
Keyblades.
Kingdom Hearts than me then.
He doesn't. Yeah.
What's next?
What's next, James?
Birth by Sleep. Oh, that's
S tier.
S tier. Yeah, that's S tier.
There's a
I
trend
actually
here.
I hated the card, or like the whole
deck
like,
building?
build the deck, and then
Mhm.
I actually replayed it when I was old.
When you can understand it.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, this is dope. This actually
Yeah.
works pretty good for a PSP game
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it originally came out on.
Right. Yeah. I had to
Um,
borrow my sister's PSP to play that game. I remember that.
I remember I played it when it first came out, and I was like, this game is hard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is probably the hardest Kingdom Hearts game I played, other than 1, out of the, up to that point at least.
Yeah. It was rough.
Because I was even playing on, I think I was playing on standard,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yo, this game's hard. But I think it's just the PSP and like having a
PSP controls. You know,
just
some of the stuff they had you do was a little bit obnoxious.
yeah.
Like there was like an amusement park world or something like the Mickey
It
Funland
was
or some
yeah, it was
crap.
Toontown where you,
yeah.
did do the racing or whatever.
And those mini games sucked. Those mini games were bullshit.
I like the racing. That's all I would do at one point. I would just spend like an hour just racing.
but like, and I'm a little bit sad they haven't brought this concept back. I mean, they kind of did with form change in KH3, but like the armors,
Yeah, the armors.
The armors were awesome.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
And like the way that like they rode their keyblades and stuff. Look up the armor, James, so you know what we're talking about. Don't give me the look as if like we're weirdos. Like, come on. They were so cool.
They were pretty cool.
Like, and I love Ventus. I think he's neat. I liked Terra's fight with the whole like, oh, the darkness. I thought it was done better than Riku's because you never actually saw Riku struggle. And
It was cool also because it was 3 different
yeah, it was
stories, and it was like you could see what one person did, like how that affected the world beyond them leaving.
Yeah, it was like, and actually like
the first one was Sleeping Beauty, and Terra steals Rose's heart or puts her to sleep or something.
Yeah, he's the one.
So then
responsible
Aqua's
for
the
it,
one that has to actually like save her.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa,
And then
that's kind of cool.
Ventus puts down what's her face? What's the name of the
Maleficent.
Maleficent?
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah.
Wow,
He
big,
comes
huge
back-
Kingdom Hearts player, and I totally forgot her name.
He comes back after Aqua saves Rose, and it's like, oh, now we have to fight the dragon. That's dope.
I also really liked how they all had different play styles. Like you could play however you wanted, but they
yeah.
like leaned in different ways. And then also building off of the drive forms was their like after you use a certain number of commands, how they would enter like a new state.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember like doing boss fights and like trying to keep my combo up just so I could get to like the cool like the one that Ventus had where he had like 6 ephemeral swords on his back and you're just like James is giving us the look, but he doesn't understand.
You don't understand, James. This is cool.
It's so cool. James Isaac has the games.
This
Play
was
them.
the peak of video games.
Well, okay, don't get ahead of yourself. But
Yeah, that's right.
series is like a solid C tier at best. But and I say this with as much love as I can muster.
And then the final boss was also dope, seeing like the different ways. Like Ventus had to fight Vanitas.
Yep.
Terra fought Xehanort, and then Aqua was like, "F it, I'm gonna fight both of y'all."
Yeah.
And the final chapter when you're playing as Aqua,
which I never beat.
Terranort. I don't think anybody. Yeah, it's hard.
That was hard.
That was hard.
That
It was
sucked.
hard just to trigger it because you have
Yeah.
there's like
You
you
have
have
to do,
to
like-
100% all 3 of them.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It sucked.
I still haven't played that version.
I remember I got there and I fought Terra like maybe 30 times and I was like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. What was next, James? Really?
Yeah, that sounds right. Disclaimer: I played like 20 minutes of Dreams and turned it off. No, we don't count Recoded.
Well, because I don't think either of us played Recoded.
I don't count Recoded. It does have a cool intro though.
Yeah.
The
So
little intro that it has.
I played Dream. I played it all the way up to the final boss. That fight was misery. I did not beat it. It is on my to-do list of games that I need to go back and just like whoop his ass now because, you know, I'm a grown man and I'm capable of critical
I'm not letting
thinking.
no Disney character make me out like a.
Yeah. Because I was like, when did Dream drop? 2012. So I was like, what, 16? If that?
I don't know. Is that how math works?
Somebody do math. Okay, so I was definitely not 16. So closer to like 13,
No, you
14.
were.
Middle school, Isaac?
16?
Is high school age.
You were born. Oh, 14. 14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah,
Alright,
so I was probably like closer
so
to 13, 14.
Math is not my strong suit. We're recording this pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, it's like 11.
I woke up an hour ago.
Yeah. So I was not good at that game at all. I did not understand how you made your friends. That was weird as hell.
Once the tutorial, when I played the tutorial and I was like, I'm not doing this stupid
Yeah,
shit.
no.
Like this is dumb.
The
It was like recoded or recom. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is stupid.
the drop mechanic was really stupid. Just like being in the middle of a boss fight and suddenly it's like, oh, you're Riku now. Like, come on.
I'll take your word for it.
I will say, I do appreciate that game, because for once it is Square Enix acknowledging that The World Ends With You exists.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Which I want to play.
But that being said, I still would put it at like a C tier.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, just for the sake of
C or D, if I'm even being mean.
What's next? 3?
Those don't count. Those are
Point
anthology
8 was
games.
like a tech demo,
Yeah.
and then what was the other one that was in Point 8? There was another thing that was in 0.8 or 2.8.
Correct.
Okay.
So if we're talking like in terms of actual game releases, because I don't really count the point.
No,
games
because
as
it's really just a
chronology,
3-hour
yeah.
tech demo of what
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 3
they were
is gonna
tech
be.
demos. They were just anthologies of like here's
Yeah.
everything you missed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
3. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3.
See, the problem with Kingdom Hearts 3, we could go on we could just make an hour podcast just
But
on
yeah, we could
this
quite literally
topic.
just talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. I could rant about 3 for a long
It comes down to
time.
this. It comes down to this. Everything pre the Aqua, like beat the hell out of Aqua to get her to come back to the light,
Was worthless.
was terrible.
It was so
Garbage. I skipped everything. That was the first time I skipped scenes during a first playthrough.
Yeah.
Was those games. It had cool moments. Like the Toy Story boss fight was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Frozen boss fight was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember much of the Tangled. Olympus was kind of cool. Fighting the Titans.
Yeah.
In terms of theatrics, the
Yeah.
actual boss fight was whatever.
Yeah,
but
the
like
fight was kind of crap.
everything else other than those 3 moments was garbage.
Yeah, my main issue with 3 is that
And the problem is that was like 15 hours of a 25-hour game.
Yeah. the main issue that I have with 3 is that it's like they made the Final Fantasy stuff, right? They were like, oh, Sora forgot his memories, and Dream Drop or whatever, he can't do anything. Mickey and Riku are in the Dark World. Here's an excuse for Riku to get rid of easily the coolest Keyblade in the entire game, so that he can get his stupid lock key or whatever
Seriously.
the hell it is. And then they made the end, the final world, Keyblade Graveyard.
Yeah.
And all of that was really cool. Like, oh, this is like awesome story stuff. And then they went, oh, wait, Kingdom Hearts has Disney in it. And they're like, what do we do? And so they just, they threw the Disney worlds in.
Yeah.
And nothing happens in the Disney worlds until the last couple seconds where it's like, oh, Sora, if you don't remember the power of waking, we're going to get new Maidens of Light. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And the problem is you're just moseying around Disney World
who
for
cares?
no reason.
Like-
Because like in 1 and 2 it makes sense because 1 you're trying to find your way back home, so it's like
you're
obviously you're gonna
searching for stuff.
obviously you're gonna go like 2 you're looking for Riku and the King,
Yep.
at least in the beginning. So like obviously you're going to different worlds to look for people.
Yeah, and then like it also says like as you're going to those worlds, it's like, oh,
And
these worlds
3
needs help because
Yeah, and then
Of
it's like,
reasons.
oh, we gotta actually like make
fight
do
the
the movie.
elimination and blah,
Now we gotta be in the Pirates movie.
Yeah.
3 it was just like I'm here because plot requires
there are
me to be here.
literally times where you are in a world and Donald goes, "Why are we here, Sora?" And Sora goes, "I don't know. The game wanted us to be here." And it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad at the beginning. I still haven't played 3 because of that. I just don't want to go through those first couple hours.
Yeah, it's so painful. And then you get to the Keyblade Graveyard and it's like, where was this the last 15 hours of my life?
Yeah, it was a completely different game.
It's a completely different experience.
Like they hired actual writers to complete the last.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like
So
that,
the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely like a D.
I would put that in F tier. I'm gonna be
Okay,
real with you.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be
No.
nice.
The beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 does not deserve niceties.
The end of Kingdom Hearts 3
It's
is like
definitely like an A. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd say
it's top tier stuff.
Yeah.
The boss gauntlet at the end is
It's just
honestly, I loved it. I loved it. People didn't like it, but I was just like, it made it so much more satisfying when you finally beat
the
him.
fights were obnoxious. But I feel like part of that was just because like if you would just run those by themselves without any of the filler bullshit from the first 15 hours, it would have felt so much better.
Yeah,
But like when I got there, I remember just being like,
I don't
like I
want
was
to do
like,
this.
oh, this is cool, but also at the same time, like just end, just put me out of my misery. Like,
Yeah.
It's only in retrospect that I'm like, that was really sick. And then of course, getting Terra back and getting Ventus back. And,
Yeah.
not Ventus, Roxas back. Oh man, when Roxas comes out of the sky that first time,
Hype.
oh
Top 6 hype moment.
my god. It also helps. I'm gonna like if it hasn't been clear, I love Roxas. Roxas
What
is
could it-
amazing.
we could tell?
He's got Oathkeeper and Oblivion, 2 of my top 10s.
2 are like my top 3s, and
Yeah.
they're not number
Okay, yeah.
number 3.
Yeah. Like I remember I searched cons for so long to find a good Oblivion key, and it's one of my favorite swords that I got. Oblivion's so
That's the
sick.
first. That's the Keyblade I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 with.
Keyblade I've beaten most of the games with.
Yeah,
because it's
I never-
busted.
I didn't ever play with any other Keyblade. Once I got Oblivion, it was like I'm just sticking
Yeah.
with Oblivion.
Because they're
so
just
yeah.
like they're good for like if you want to melee people. And I
Yeah,
love Oblivion.
yeah.
For that. James, are you looking up what they look like?
They do look pretty dope.
They look sick. But yeah, just seeing that, like seeing Shion again, and seeing like Axel being like Shion, like, dude, I was like emotional.
Connor got emo.
I got a little emo. I love those idiots. they make
Alexa cue up Nirvana. Yeah, no, it was definitely a good moment. It was definitely like, to me, that was the culmination of the 13 whatever years, 15 years or whatever that we had gotten up to that point where it was like,
yeah,
everything's starting to go back. Nature is healing again.
yeah, nature's healing. It was a cool little sequence. We got to see at the very end, like Sora and Kairi are wherever the hell they are, as like the whole group was like, having fun at Destiny
They were at the
Island.
Destiny Island.
And I was like, that was a really great place for the series to culminate.
And then he dies.
And then I learned not even an hour ago that they're making another one. And I am both excited and angry.
We have to bring him back. He's dead.
Just let Sora rest, man.
He's dead. We have to bring him back. You know, it's funny, though, because the only game that actually ends on a good note was 2.
Correct. 2 was very much just like, yeah.
Every other game, it ends with somebody in the realm of darkness or someone's dead.
Or somebody's dead, yeah.
It's
Or
like,
you're dead.
Like 2, I think 2 would have been the perfect ending. Sora's back. He's reunited with his
got
friends.
Kairi.
Riku's back. The king is back. All is good in the world. Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Let them rest.
I just
And
want to see my boy
then-
Sora happy and getting some pipe from Kairi.
Jesus Christ.
He's worked so hard.
I'm a little flustered by that comment. Anyways, yeah, I think 2 would have been
2 would have been a good spot.
a good ending. 3, I actually really like the ending to 3. It's like Sora's dead. Let's just keep it that
Sora
way.
and Kairi are gone. They're together. We see it, like I said.
Well, no, she's alive.
Did they bring her back?
He gets Thanos.
Well,
Did you
but
not
he
watch
goes-
the end?
No, he goes to save her.
Yeah, she is brought back. He gets Thanos.
Oh, I didn't. I
You didn't interpret it that way?
no, yeah, I.
She's back on the islands. That's why she cries.
Oh, dude, I totally.
Yeah,
I must have
he's
spaced that.
dead,
I thought they
dog.
both vanished.
No,
Oh.
he's dead.
Okay. I thought they were both like in wherever.
that
the
was
hell
his
she
like
got
last
taken.
moment in
wonder
in the
then-
main realm, I guess. I don't know.
I wonder then if the plot of 4 is going to be him saving Kairi.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you could tell by the line because it was like,
Yeah, you know.
you woke up in this world 7 days ago. This
7
is,
years ago.
This is an afterworld for us.
Yeah. So it could be either A, it's what
But
happened when he went to go save Kairi, or B, it's Sora coming back. And if it's Sora
I think
coming
it's-
back, just let the man rest for Kingdom Hearts 5, please.
No more Kingdom Hearts.
No, no, we can have more Kingdom Hearts. I'm fine with them exploring like the other stuff in the worlds, but just let Sora have a break, man. Homeboy is like he was like
Yeah,
what,
he's
14 when the first game happened, and now he's
his
like
mom
16?
is still waiting for him to
His
come
mom's
home to
still waiting for him
dinner.
Come home. She's been a Heartless like 3 times. Like,
She still hasn't served him his lasagna.
yeah,
That's how sad it's
like
been.
Homeboy just needs a break.
It's been 20 years and he still hasn't gone home.
Just let him hang out with his friends for like 2 days. Because like I think like Dream Drop happens pretty fast after 2's ending.
Yeah.
So it's just like let the
And it
man
happens
rest.
like right between. It's like right before 3 happens.
Yeah. Cause like Riku, mother freaking fracking Riku.
Thank you for catching
Yeah.
yourself.
The complete asshole that Riku is. He got his happy ending. He's got nominated. He picked her up in the gummy ship like a pimp.
Yeah, he pulled up and was like, "Yo, get in the car."
Why can't our main character have his happy ending?
Because we need more games.
Why does Donald and Goofy get their happy ending?
We need more games. We need more games, apparently. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you excited for 4?
I'm trepidatious, which is, word of the day calendar for anybody who.
Yeah, can you use smaller words, please?
Anxious would be it, yeah.
James, resident English major. What is
James isn't an English.
honorary English major? What does trepidatious mean?
Yeah, James.
It means to approach gingerly.
Is that the actual dictionary definition? oh, okay.
Okay, now can you define gingerly?
Okay, so you know ginger. It's when you grate it.
Soulless.
God damn it. You're making this worse and worse.
James, I thought, like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was definitely in the category of 3 was going to be the end for me. And then I saw that trailer and I was like, these sons of bitches did it again.
Yeah, like I'm excited because like more gameplay, more fun.
yeah.
As much as we bash on the story, like
They are fun games to
they
actually
are
just
fun games to play.
play. Yeah.
You know,
Other
we're
than, Recom and Dream Drop.
Yeah, like we bashed on like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 3's was 15 hours of nothing. It was still fun to just beat the crap out of Heartless and nobody's in
Yeah.
Unversed.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, Unversed, that's what they're called. And stuff. Just the story was nothing. So like I'm like the gameplay trailer, because that's what it was. It was a like demo gameplay trailer. It looks cool. They got those cinematic boss fight with the like the big Heartless.
It's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's
inspired.
very like Final Fantasy. It looks like freaking Final Fantasy 15.
He looks like
Homeboy
Cloud.
out here
He
looking
looks
like
like
Noctis.
Yeah, he looks like Cloud.
Yeah, Cloud Strife. I would say, yeah, I'm not exactly excited for the art direction because like the
Yeah.
game's always had that very strong cartoony style, and it looks really weird to see Sora hyper
I
realistic.
think that's just Square trying to differentiate
that's-
itself and set
yeah.
itself on a new era. I mean, you could feel it towards the end when they introduced that one character that looks like Riku.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, they're trying to do something.
Yeah, Sora. I mean, it's Square being Square. Love them to death, but also it's Square Enix.
Yeah. Damn you, Square Enix! Why can't you just make good decisions? What is with Japanese video game studios just like
Hey,
always taking a left turn at the worst times?
don't be hating on my boy From Software. I'll cut you here right
Okay,
now.
From Software is different though. From Software, Miyazaki's the goat.
Yeah, if you guys ever want a
Is it
Dark
Miyazaki?
Souls
It is
podcast, just
Miyazaki,
let them
right?
know and I'll come back. Yeah, it's Miyazaki.
Okay, yeah, Miyazaki's the goat. But like Konami, Bandai Namco, they always
Konami.
like every series that they have, they always are just like, all right, let's just ruin everything we have good about it and let's just immediately differentiate
Yeah, you remember
from
when
the rest.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the highest grossing games Konami ever put out?
Remember
and
when
then
Metal Gear Solid was like one of the greatest series
Yeah.
on the PlayStation?
Yeah, and then they
And then they
fired the guy who
killed it.
made it.
And then they killed it with one series.
Yeah. Anybody remember Metal Gear Survive? No, you don't.
Yeah, it's just like, why can't you guys just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't be like American game studios doing the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again,
give
but
me the same
also
crap every
like
year. But
let's be a little better.
I mean, I'll give Square Enix this. They are consistent. Every time I play a Square game, I'm like, wow, that was a video game. I don't think
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I've
fair.
never been
That's a good point.
I've played a handful of Square Enix games. Like I'm a huge Nier fan. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've played a Square game and been like, wow, this was a complete and utter disappointment. Like they're very like, even if the story is crap,
You
or
still
it's too
enjoy. Yeah, I
over-animated,
mean,
you still really enjoy the game.
I think that's just Japanese game designers in general.
They
It's
know what
just
they're
like-
doing.
I've always heard the philosophy with Japanese game designers is so where they differentiate from like the West is they come up with mechanics and then they try and shoehorn the story into the
Mhm.
mechanics, whereas game developers out here will
They go
make
where
the
money is.
story and then they'll come out with the mechanics. Yeah. I mean,
They don't-
does
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft count? They're
Ubisoft,
French.
well-
Yeah, they count. That's the West.
Air quotes developers.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft copy and paste those things.
Yeah. EA, Activision. It's like
Again,
the
not-
same
not-
stuff.
not actually
over
developers.
And over and over again.
I will say this though, it is good on Kingdom Hearts that every game has a different mechanic to combat.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that.
It makes it more exciting, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, assuming we have time to talk about that, I do think that the way that every time, like James just pointed out, that every game is the same but different,
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Form changes are awesome. Dry forms were fantastic.
Don't know why they took away.
Don't know why they took away dry form. Well, they took it away to put in form changes.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
But yeah, like just the fact that each game plays marginally different but still feels like Kingdom Hearts is really a sign of good design, honestly.
Yeah.
Just being able to do that means that, they got good design people on them that know the feel of the game and understand.
They know, they make games that are
Makes the game
satisfying to play.
Mhm.
Just the BS to get up to those good points. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, it's just watching a movie basically, and then you get to beat the crap out of Heartless for like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
it's watch a movie.
Yeah, I brought this up to Isaac when I beat Kingdom Hearts 3 because I beat it like a month ago. Like I said, I hadn't had a PlayStation 4 until recently. But I happened to beat it after beating Elden Ring. And I remember telling him, I was like, man, if I hadn't just played what is easily going to be the game of the year, I would definitely be a lot more receptive to this game.
Yeah. That's true. It's like playing Breath of the Wild and then being like, you know what, I'm gonna play
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
Like, way to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. I'm gonna play Far Cry 5.
I'm gonna play Far Cry Cavemen, where there's the same map as Far Cry 5 because can't.
Primal. Yeah.
Primal. That's what it was. Yeah.
I did like Far Cry 5. Far Cry podcast win?
I never played them. I just remember seeing that controversy and just being like, "Ooh, boy."
Yeah. Shout out to Ubisoft once again.
Shout out to my boys Ubisoft who shot Anthem in the foot. That wasn't even Ubisoft. That was Activision. I apologize.
Yeah, that was Activision.
I'm still upset about
Any last thoughts before we go? Any closing remarks?
We bash on them, but Kingdom Hearts is definitely one of the near and dear series
it's
to my
like
heart.
top 5 series for me.
It's
sure.
one of those things where like I hate
we
it.
hate it because we love it
but
so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we
it's
know
such a big impact.
what the highs can be,
Mm-hmm.
right? We know it's like when I watch a Christopher Nolan movie, like The Prestige, and I'm like, this could be so much better because I've already seen the best. Or like Tenet. I'm like, this could be better because I've seen the best of Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it because it's a Christopher Nolan movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way I feel about
Totally
Kingdom
get you.
Other than Recom and whatever.
Well, there's lows,
Yeah,
ups and downs.
The lows are definitely low, but the highs are good.
But yeah, I mean, like
all of Kingdom Hearts 2 is good.
Kingdom Hearts 2 shaped what I define as cool. I still like dual swordsmen's. I know it's edgy. I know it's like for 13-year-olds, but I still get excited. The Keyblade is such a timeless weapon design.
Yeah.
So yeah,
fits right into Smash.
Fits right into Smash. I was so excited when that trailer dropped.
I think we all were. I think
I shed a tear.
I think we all were very excited.
But yeah, closing remarks. Here's terrible games. But
before we go, top 7 moments in the series for you.
7?
Yeah, just
dude,
because there's 7 princesses.
Okay.
Just the whole series as a whole. Just name the top 7 moments that come to your mind, or your favorite moments.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I'm gonna get to 7. You're asking a lot off the top of my head. Okay, I really like. It's a very specific cutscene, but in Days, when one of the times Roxas is leaving or whatever, and Shion had effed off and blah 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 blah. There's a point. I think they're outside of the mansion in Twilight Town. Not Twilight Town.
It is
Twilight
Town. Yeah.
Outside the mansion in Twilight Town, and Axel is caught up to Roxas, and you could just hear the anguish in his voice as he's just like yelling at him for like, why do you keep leaving? And he's like, every time you can go on and keep running, but I'll always be there to bring you back. Oh, it's so powerful.
It's a true homie.
He's a bro. And you can just tell that he's like upset that he has to do this to his friend because he understands why.
Yeah.
The next one I would argue would be the fight with Shion. Just like that whole sequence, it's like leading up where he's like,
fight.
"What are you doing?" And then she reveals that she's the weird Sora aggregate, which didn't make sense until 3. And then that fight sequence in the tough, and then like as she's fading, and Roxas is like, "Who are you?" Like, heartbreaking.
Who am I gonna eat ice cream with?
Yeah.
It's an actual line, by the way, James.
It is. Welcome to Kingdom Hearts. Obviously we already mentioned it, but Roxas versus Axel in Kingdom Hearts 2. That will never not make me excited.
That's definitely top.
Roxas's return, Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of these are gonna be Roxas based. I love Roxas. Terra's return in Kingdom Hearts 3 was also really cool. Seeing Guardian, who pissed me off so much in Kingdom Hearts 1. Seeing him just like rip the tape off and then seeing it, like, I did not expect that. I was not ready for that. I thought for sure that Terra was gonna like they were gonna like pop his soul out of the Xehanort body and it was gonna go back into the unlingering will. Or lingering, not unlingering. I thought it was gonna do that.
Semi-lingering.
Yeah. Especially because lingering will showed up.
Yeah.
And then it never was there for the rest of the game.
Garbage.
It is what it is. What does that put me at? I think that's 5.
You said 2 for Birth by Sleep or Jays.
Yeah.
Roxas coming back. There's the Roxas Axel fight.
Roxas Axel fight. So yeah, 5. I'm at 5.
Sure. We'll say that. Yeah. That sounds like 5.
Riku and what's his face? Riku and Sora versus Xemnas, hitting all the lasers, amazing. Um, and then, man, I got nothing for. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna cap out at 6.
Damn it, you had one more.
I know, but like
You had one more.
there's like, I mean, I could list off like every cutscene in Days. Some of them hit me like a truck, man. Okay, no. Also from Kingdom Hearts 3, when you see the ending for the Days crew, and it's
When they split
Roxas,
the
and
Wayfinders.
Shion, and yeah,
Oh wait, what?
no, when they're all on the top of the tower of Twilight Town,
Oh,
and it's Roxas.
that's not the
Shion,
Wayfinder
Axel.
crew, you fool.
No, I said the Days crew.
Oh, the Days crew. Sorry.
Yeah, and they're all sitting there, and then like
the actual friends.
all the other friends come out, and they're all sitting there eating ice cream, and I was like, yeah, somebody
pretty
gets a happy ending.
I did not like that. Syx came out. I was like, no.
Yeah,
You go back. You stay
he
dead.
should be dead.
Stay dead.
He died like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really did. It was weird. All right, I'm trying to think. Number 1, killing Ursula in Atlantis.
All my homies hate Ursula.
No, I think so for me it would be Roxas merging with Sora at the end of his little prologue in 2. That's definitely 1. Roxas, the scene where not Roxas, the scene where Riku and Sora and Kairi are reunited, where Sora just kind of like breaks down, is like, I've been looking for you for so long. It's like, that's a true homie.
Yeah, Sora deserves
That's definitely top 7. The ending of 1 f's me up every time I watch it.
Fair.
It like when their hearts, when their hands break apart, and then the post credit scene when she's sitting there on the looking at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
She like draws the little papa fruit. I'm like, oh man, that messes me up every
Stuff
time.
to make
every
a grown
time.
man crap.
Aqua going into the realm of darkness, saving Terra.
Oh,
Messes
true.
me
Yeah.
up. That's pretty sad.
Can't believe she got Norded.
She got Norded. I'm trying to think.
Sounds so dirty.
What else? Everybody dying in Kingdom Hearts 3 for like a split
Best
second.
part. Easily the best.
And then it time loops back. That was definitely a big WTF moment for me. I was like, is everybody really? Did I do all this BS for nothing?
I was so hype. I was like, yeah, dude, let's end it on a bad note. Darkness wins. Let's go.
Yeah. That was definitely a cool moment for me, just in terms of like being surprised. That was definitely a left turn, because Kingdom Hearts is always like, oh, let's end on a happy note, or like, let's make sure our heroes actually win, but not win. And so when they were like, yeah, everybody's gonna die for like 10 minutes, I was like,
Light beats
whoa. So, by the way, spoiler, James. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, dude. We've spoiled so much for you. It's gonna really suck. when we
James
force
has
you to
played
play
the
these
games basically by us
Yeah.
talking about it. Let me see. Where am I? That's 4? Is it 4 or 5 for
I
me?
think that was 4.
Okay, so 5 would be. I'm trying to think of moments that you didn't say, because I agree with a
Yeah,
lot of
because
your
I nailed a lot
moments.
of the good ones.
Yeah.
I know I kind of stole them out.
No,
from you.
you're good. Trying to think. Birth by Birth by Sleep. When they kill Ericus, that's pretty sad.
That was
Yeah,
sad.
that was pretty messed up. That was another WTF moment.
It was a real rough buddy moment.
Yeah. That's when Terra becomes full edgy boy.
Yeah.
So
You get a really
five.
sick keyblade after that, though.
Yeah, you get that's a pretty dope moment.
It's worth it.
Yeah, just that lead up of like Ericus dying and then all of them merging up at the graveyard to take on Xehanort was pretty dope. Oh, here's one. Fucking Goofy dying. And then King Mickey's like, they're going to pay for this. And he takes off his cloak for the first time all series and pulls out his Keyblade. I'm like, yo, watch that scene, James. That scene is dope.
Yeah,
that scene is so dope.
For it being, you know,
It's the most badass Mickey has ever looked.
Disney-
and this is
Disney
the guy who
characters?
played
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse's freaking key, like the painting game.
all right. Well, James looked that up.
Literally
What
the
else?
dopest moment, probably in all of 2, when he's just like, they'll pay for this.
Yeah.
That whole, actually, I'll just put that whole Hollow Bastion scene of like, all the way to Goofy dying, all the way until you end it, where you're fighting the Thousand Heartless.
Oh,
It's
the
like
Thousand Heartless. How could I not call them the
Stitches,
Heartless?
the whole cutscene of like Stitch shooting Heartless in the face, Leon
Yeah.
and Cloud going back to back,
Mm-hmm.
Zemnis coming out, Maleficent saving your life. It's
Yeah,
like
that was so sick.
these are
Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best.
that
game.
was the peak for me in terms of
Literal
Kingdom Hearts 2.
perfect game.
That was dope.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that was dope.
Ignore all the things that we said
Um,
about it that we didn't like.
The Roxas Sora fight. How could we forget that?
True. Well, because that's actually that's only in the final mix of
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's still a dope.
But it's still amazing.
Yeah, even the cutscene is dope.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite boss fights like
Oh,
ever.
that reminds
That's
me
another
actually
really good boss fight.
Another good moment. We'll make an honorary mention. End of Days, where you are in the world that never was as Roxas, and he's got his cloak up.
You fight Riku.
And you fight Riku.
Yeah.
Riku's just like anguish at everything that he has to
He's
do.
also overpowered AF.
Yeah.
Both of them are
They're
overpowered.
both
AF.
overpowered.
Yeah,
But
that
just
was
like
dope.
Roxas's pure like I don't care anymore attitude was just so like heart wrenching. And then of course you get to fight with the dual keyblades.
Yeah, that was dope. And then
Really got me
how many is that? 6 for me?
I think that capped out at 7.
Is that 7?
I think that
okay,
did,
well
yeah.
that's all 7. Cool.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks before we go? I
I
gotta get to work in like.
Yeah, Isaac's
An
gonna work.
hour.
So if you guys ever want me to talk about Warhammer 40K, go ahead and let them know. I can also talk about Dark Souls and a couple other things.
All right, man. You could plug in your own stuff.
Follow me on nothing. I have no social media presence.
He really does. He really doesn't. James, any closing remarks for you on Kingdom Hearts?
I think Chain of Memories is pretty good.
All right, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Chain of Memories is a good game. All right, cool. Well, that was our discussion on Kingdom Hearts, the 20 years that we've had, somewhat enjoyed, but also hated, but also because we love it.
As you do with everything that you love, it's
Yeah,
filled with
yeah.
equal parts love and hate.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
yeah.
We'll
We'll do this again, maybe.
yeah, maybe. I'm not a huge movie guy, which is why you guys haven't heard from me before. Although technically, I was here for your
You were
one of your
here,
Lord of the
yeah.
Rings
So if you
podcast.
guys remember,
You guys might remember
when
me
somebody
popping in.
interrupted us during the Lord of the Rings podcast. That was good old Connor.
Which ironically, I was there to play Warhammer. So yeah,
It's funny how life works. That way.
it is crazy.
All right, we're out. James, what's our new intro? Do we have a new intro?
It's an outro. Dumbass.
Outro. My bad. Sorry. I don't know. All right. Yeah. We'll
Keep it real.
That's all, folks.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that. We don't say that.